Chicos, chicas, ¿cómo están? ¿Qué os cuenta David? Aquí Vampire con un video para el canal y esta vez estamos en otro episodio más de Genshin Impact. Y bueno, si recuerdas en el episodio anterior, hemos justamente terminado lo que es el segundo día de competencia sobre este evento del certamen académico y todo lo demás. Y yo pensé que podríamos iniciar una vez con el siguiente evento, con el siguiente vez en la que podría ser mi voz de comentarista español-latino, como he estado haciendo último de esos episodios, pero al parecer no. Primero tenemos que encargarnos de algunos asuntos tras bambalinas, ya que al parecer hay una suerte de complot que está afectando al organizador de este evento, al vicepresidente de lo que es la asociación de la academia, que tiene una herencia por lo que parece. Bueno, ni siquiera vicepresidente, estoy creando cosas, pues mezclando lores entre lo que está sucediendo en este juego y lo que sucedió en mi universidad en el 2018. Pero la cosa es que tenemos que preguntarle a Arab sobre cómo está yendo la situación actual antes de hacer algo con lo que es el certamen y nuestro trabajo como comentaristas invitados de honor.
Sorry, I was just about to send someone to inform you. I only just finished interrogating the suspects.
Excelente, ¿y qué información has tenido?
What did you find out?
Well, lots of unexpected details, let's put it that way.
Ya.
The mercs themselves were surprisingly easy to catch. We just had someone dress up as Sachin and they took the bait.
Más imbéciles no pueden ser, el calor les está afectando, la falta del mismo, una de dos.
But then it
No
starts
quita de
to
que
get
sean
messy.
imbéciles.
During the interrogation, we learned that they were hired by Sachin's own child.
Que si bien soy más estúpido cuando hace calor, el que hace frío no significa que baje mis niveles de estupidez.
What? Why would someone want to kidnap
¿El
their
hijo?
own father? What's up with that?
Para quedarse con la herencia, ¿para qué más? No querrá que alguien más se lleve lo que por derecho, entre comillas, se merece.
It's anybody's guess at this point. In any event, apparently the guys we caught are just the tip of the iceberg. Most of them are still snooping around outside the city.
Y no se atreven a confesar, excelente.
We're
Típico.
diverting manpower as we speak to try and round them all up. Would you like to come along?
Sí.
Sure. Let's go get to the bottom of all this.
Así que el hijo está haciendo su propio complot para así poder llevarse toda la herencia. Dirígete al campamento de los secuestradores, que queda justamente cerca del desierto. Ay no, queda cerca de una zona en que no tengo explorada. ¿Por qué no la tengo explorada? Porque me da poco tiempo para explorarla. Aparte la estoy reservando en un caso de emergencia. Vale, por allí está el campamento. Literalmente donde está el bosque este de Sumeru, la zona bosque, que la tengo muy poco explorada. De hecho, la tengo un poquito más explorada el tema del desierto. Ya estoy avanzando un poquito en lo que es el tema este de una de las misiones secundarias que hay allí, pero no la estoy completando por el simple hecho de que la estoy guardando, ya saben, para en caso de emergencia. Vale, supuestamente aquí está el campamento, pero no veo absolutamente nadie.
Are you sure this is the right place? Something feels off.
No hay absolutamente nadie.
Boss, we got more company.
Ya. Antes no había nadie y ahora hay gente. What the hell?
Look, we were just doing what we were paid to do. You're punishing the wrong people here. You want the real culprit? It's this guy. He hired us to kidnap Sachin.
Ok, hay algo aquí que no me cuadra. ¿Por qué estarían traicionando a su cliente?
What happened? Who beat you all up?
Wait, you mean you aren't with them?
No, apenas lo conozco.
With who? Who did this?
First there was this flying brat. Didn't bother asking any questions, just started throwing punches. After that, some guy wearing green came along and interrogated us for a bit.
Tipo vestido de verde. Tenía orejas grandes, by the way.
I've got the confirmation I needed. This is the one who masterminded this whole plot. Giovanni, Sachin's son.
Giovanni, suena a Giovanni.
If you have
Shout out to
any
Giovanni.
questions for him, now's your chance to ask them. When you're done, I'm arresting them all and taking them back to the academia for further interrogation.
Con detector de mentiras de confianza, parece bien.
So why did you hire people to kidnap Sachin?
¿Lo hiciste por celos?
What do you think? 20 years ago, he upped and left to go and live a carefree life, not giving a second thought for my welfare.
Traumas por abandono.
As if that's not bad enough already, he went and put his entire fortune in the care of the academia, along with a contract saying that one day he'd pass it all on to a genius he admired. That's my inheritance. By rights. You expect me to sit back and watch it go to someone else?
¿Y de verdad pensabas que secuestrarlo iba a ser la mejor manera, el mejor plan de acción para obtener eso que te mereces?
Of course. Didn't he say he would be here somewhere, watching the championship from the shadows? So, I figured I'd get some people to nab him. Then I make him change the contract. And if the academia doesn't agree to hand over the goods, I make him publicly announce that I'm his chosen genius.
¿Y lo han encontrado?
No, the old fart knows how to stay hidden. I'll give him that. He's probably cooped up somewhere watching all this go on and laughing to himself. I already thought he'd gone mad 20 years ago. And who knows what a madman's truly capable of.
Que está loco. Esto es raro, porque supuestamente luego de los sucesos de la aventura principal no deberían haber más locos. ¿Qué sabes de la corona de la sabiduría?
Diadem of Knowledge? You mean that thing he donated to the academia?
Sí, esa cojurez.
Well, I can tell you that it's very expensive. He sold a lot of assets to purchase it back in the day. Weird things started happening after he brought it home, too. For example, sometimes we'd hear a high-pitched voice coming from the storage room.
Un fantasma. Excelente.
Also, before donating it to the academia, he once shut himself in that same storeroom and researched it non-stop for days.
Es un poco que era con la visión que has visto, ¿no, Error?
Something was already seriously wrong with him by that point. Nothing he did shocked me.
What do you mean, something wrong with him?
I only have a vague memory of it, since I was very young at the time. But I have the impression that he went out into the desert for research and didn't return for many years.
Que era acorde a la biografía.
When he finally did return, he was a changed person. He would mumble incomprehensibly and write essays day and night. I asked if I could see what he'd written, but he chased me out of the room. Later, he went out somewhere and took his written essays with him. When he got back, he signed his contract with the academia.
Puta, ese güey de verdad se merece el premio a Padre del Año.
Part of me wonders whether he'd already stopped being my father by that point. Perhaps the man we called Sachin was a demon from the desert who was wearing his skin.
Okay, you can stop now. You're creeping Paimon out.
Sí, mucho trauma.
You can
¿Has
believe
pensado
me
ir a
or
un
not.
psicólogo?
Doesn't matter to me. I told you all I know. But if you do see Sachin, tell him this for me.
Que siempre lo has odiado.
Whatever it is that he's researching out there, he'll always be garbage in my eyes.
You finished? In that case, come with us.
Giovanni queda arrestado por ser un idiota. Tiene derecho a tener un abogado, pero le daremos el peor
Well,
posible.
we finally caught the guy behind all this. Thanks for providing us with the critical information.
De nada.
Do you still have any lingering concerns?
Sí, ¿qué pasará con la corona de la sabiduría?
Yeah, Alhatham's notes do mention that item.
Scribe Al-Haytham looked into this matter.
Sabes ya cómo se
Understood.
comporta.
Well, if you believe there to be an issue with the diadem, I'd suggest contacting the organizers and getting them to pause the competitions while we investigate.
Híjole, yo creo que eso no se va a poder.
That makes sense. Okay then, let's get back to the venue. We need to tell Karina what's going on.
Ok, hay que estar preparado para todo. Dos opciones, una de dos. O bien esto nos ven y empieza todo el evento, o bien no nos ven y no tendremos que hacer absolutamente nada, qué sé yo. ¿Dónde se va a realizar el evento? ¿Otra vez en la ciudad de Sumeru? No creo que corten la competencia ahorita. Siento que va a haber una suerte de efecto dominó que hará que todo esto, no es que quede solucionado, pero como que le dará una explicación lógica de por qué continuar el evento. A ver si nos dicen de que justo llegamos a tiempo. Pero antes, veamos si es que hay algo que piensa. ¿Cómo que desde acá no me permite leer mentes? A ver. Si me acerco un poquito más, tal vez sí.
I see everything.
No dice nada. Que la gente aquí es muy cabeza hueca por lo que parece.
Karina!
Menos mal, todavía no hay nadie aquí.
You're finally back. Where have you been? I looked everywhere for you. The third round's already started.
¡Oh, shit!
We were out capturing some bad guys who wanted to kidnap Sachin.
Estamos llegando tarde a nuestros duties.
But that's not important right now. We think there might be something wrong with the Diadem of Knowledge, and we'd like to investigate it.
The diadem? That seems unlikely. The Diadem of Knowledge has been used in every extravaganza over the last 2 decades, always without incident. Why has this come up now?
De información nueva que ha salido a la luz proveída por una persona de renombre.
This is pretty serious. Let me think.
Podemos hacer esta investigación tras bambalinas, no tengo ningún problema.
Okay, here's the situation. The diadem is currently in Mount Ima Forest.
A volver a
We moved it there
Mount Ima.
before the third round began.
Esta es la zona de Sakura. Tiene la House Adventures allí.
In the third round, contestants have to go into Mount Ima Forest, find the diadem, bring it back, and place it on the stand. The first person to do this gets 4 points.
Sí, Bahumatra está en la B. No es posible de que puedan ganar de esa manera.
Considering how close the scores are between our contestants, whoever wins this round is very likely to be the winner of the whole competition.
Menos Bahumatra.
As such, I suspect competition to be very fierce. You might not make it in time.
Tenemos que intentarlo. Hay que causar la DQ como sea.
I'll mark the diadem's location for you. Please head there immediately. Let's hope nothing happens.
All right, let's go. That's weird. The locator stopped working. Is the forest interfering with it? Ugh. Let's just go grab the diadem.
Bien, ahí hay unos fatuis y unos eremitas. Y mi equipo es recontra débil a este punto de la aventura. Así que vamos a ignorarlos de momento. Porque tenemos algo más importante que hacer. Tenemos que salvar la competencia como de lugar. Es domingo y ya saben lo que significa. Bienvenidos al último día de competencia del certamen académico Interfacus de la Academia 2023. Estamos en vivo desde Sumeru, Taibat. Les habla su comentarista invitado de confianza, Vampire. Y gente, hemos tenido 2 días reñidos de competencia. Hemos presenciado estrategias, alianzas temporales, bendiciones de suerte, actos que pensamos que nunca llegaríamos a ver en vida. Haces bajo la manga, demostrando su verdadero potencial cuando más importa. Actos de nobleza recompensados en pleno espíritu competitivo. En estos momentos, Bahumatra está virtualmente eliminado con 0 puntos. Un empate por el tercer lugar entre los representantes de Harabatat y Cansewar. Amurta buscando remontar en el segundo lugar con 3 puntos. Y peleándose por el primer lugar, las facultades de Rikwasis y Spatman cara a cara en el podio. 4 puntos, ni uno más, ni uno menos. Estamos en vivo desde la arbolera Moutigima, donde los participantes están haciendo todo lo posible para obtener lo último que se puede ofrecer en esta competencia, la última prueba, que consiste en encontrar la corona antes de que el resto la encuentre. El que encuentre la corona se quedará coronado virtualmente el ganador y se llevará a casa la corona correspondiente y el título de campeón de las interfacultades del año 2023. Estamos acá. Y parece ser que absolutamente no hay nadie aquí. La corona está allí en todo su esplendor, a punto de ser recuperada por uno de estos equipos. Estamos hablando de 4 puntos que están en juego. El que se lo lleve siempre cuando se Bahumatra se convertirá en el virtual ganador. Y no habrá otra cosa que los demás equipos podrían hacer para evitar de que eso suceda.
Uh-oh. This place looks empty. Did someone already take it? Well...
Oh my god, no puede ser. Llegamos tarde. Parece ser que un equipo ya ha logrado estar aquí y llevarse la corona a casa. Esto puede deberse, vamos a ser honestos, aquí por lo que parece la señal que hay en lo que es este bosque, arbolera, lo que sea, interfiere. Y por eso es que no podemos saber la ubicación de los participantes. Así que nos dirigiremos justamente al lugar donde está la zona de meta para preguntarle a nuestros compañeros, al Heitam y Nilo, quién ha sido el que se llevó la corona.
Oh, looks like Layla sees the diadem. But getting to the goal won't be easy. The competition is heating up. Oh. And here's Kaveh bringing up the rear.
to its owner.
Yes, that's right. Put the diadem in place, and you shall get all you desire.
Who are you? I need you to get out of my head!
I am confident that you will not disappoint me. What just happened to me? Something's wrong.
Y el público se vuelve bananas.
At long last, someone to inherit my estate, and with it, my research.
This is awesome, respectable, this is awesome chance indeed.
Come, Kame. Come to me, my child.
El público no entiende absolutamente nada de lo que está sucediendo. Todos que están creyendo de que esta es una tontería hecha por Bray Wyatt.
How do you know my name? Who are you?
Cada vez se encuentra confundido de lo que está sucediendo, igual que el público en su alrededor.
I am Sachin. Well, to be precise, I am but a fragment of Sachin's mind. Fate is a curious thing. Seeing you reminds me of another I once met. But you are made of sterner stuff than he. Look, we meet for the first time, children. But what I need to say now is of utmost importance.
Atención público, cálmese, que ahorita Sachin va a hacer su propia promo, pipe bomb, pipe nuke, no sabremos hasta que lo dejemos hablar. Así que shut the hell up indeed.
You have all performed outstandingly in this Interdashon Championship. The Academia has many rare talents among its ranks, and you are the creme of the creme. But if I were to choose a successor, I would choose you, Kaveh. Not only because you were victorious, but also due to our similarities in character.
Me? Similar to you?
Why, yes. Both of us have the misfortune to be idealists, and that is the source of our misery. 28 years ago, I came to the desert and lived there for 8 full years. What do you think I saw there? Alas, endless strife and slaughter.
Les soy honesto, esto ya me recuerda bastante a Lore de Fam Anniversary 5 en sus últimos días de existencia.
Conflict over water sources, robbing of merchant caravans, exploitation of the people relentlessly, day after day.
Me vi su evento
Beyond the
Royal
wall of
Rumble.
Samiel lay a completely different world from the one I knew.
Me vi su evento Royal Rumble de FAM y les voy diciendo desde ya, no lo vean, es un puto asco.
The things I witnessed there tormented me greatly. I wished desperately to find a way to save them.
Hay interferencias a cada rato, hay facciones interviniendo a cada rato, hay muchísimo drama, demasiado drama que extienden las luchas de manera más innecesaria de lo que deberían durar. O sea, ya de por sí, el Luis F1 utiliza el drama en sus luchitas simuladas, pero lo de FAM ya es una exageración total. Anniversary 5 sí vale la pena ver, pero cualquier otro evento que sea anterior a ese, no le den mucha esperanza, en especial los primeros, que ahí sí se nota que no tenían ni puta idea de lo que estaban haciendo y solamente hacían las cosas para obtener una reacción. Pero sí, el Royal Rumble, un puto asco, no me gustó para nada, en especial por el tema ese de que, en especial porque ellos añadieron una regla que es básicamente, toda una facción puede entrar en una... Y eso...
So, did you find a way?
Bueno, iba a decir un comentario más acerca de eso, pero dejaré que ellos hablen, que esta es la historia de ahorita de ellos, no de una empresa que ya dejó de existir, y menos mal que dejó de existir.
As a Vahumana scholar, I tried to use Vahumana knowledge to find the answer.
Sin ofender, pero los gringos no saben buquear para nada.
I researched history and anthropology, performed countless experiments on human nature, and even sought out the scholars living deep in the desert who called themselves the Lost Darshan. But in the end, I found that the answer I sought simply did not exist. It was not possible to simply assign blame for these transgressions to any one party, for the sins are carved into humanity's very nature. Our nature begets conflict, and conflict begets destruction. This is the inexorable truth.
Es parte un poco de la naturaleza humana, de que siempre va a haber alguien que va a buscar el caos cueste lo que cueste. Si no, pregunten a la gente que pedía a personajes como, qué sé yo, Goku en el Smash Bros. Ultimate. Esa también es una manera de demostrar que es un ser conflictivo y llamar a enfrentarnos entre nosotros y calmar toda la destrucción.
The aim of my research was to draw lessons from history. But what I discovered was that history offers no such guidance. Things can only ever go from bad to worse.
Pero ¿saben qué es lo bueno de eso? Que los tiempos difíciles crean hombres fuertes. Aunque eso un poco se está demostrando que es un poquito 75-25. Estoy hablando de ustedes, comunidad de Geometry Dash.
After this realization, I could no longer see the meaning in anything that I had ever learned. Consumed by an overwhelming sense of emptiness, I could no longer bear to face life. And so, I decided to bring my life to an end.
Shit, ya estamos yendo por temas darks.
But before I went through with it, a strange twist of fate led me to come into the possession of this diadem, which has the ability to preserve part of one's consciousness. Into it, I placed my experiences.
As I thought, the contract you signed with the Academia was in essence your will. But if you'd given up hope on this world, why did you feel the need to do this?
Te diré por qué, Al-Hatem. Nobel. Alfred Bernard Nobel fue un químico, ingeniero, escritor e inventor sueco famoso principalmente por la invención de la dinamita y por crear los premios que llevan su nombre. Nobel fue propietario de la empresa Bofors, compañía la que orientó desde la producción de hierro y acero a la fabricación de gran escala de cañones y otros armamentos. Registró durante su vida 355 patentes y en la actualidad su nombre proviene de las varias compañías como Dynamite Nobel y Asco Nobel. Ese pana hizo algo malo, crear la dinamita, que ha causado un montón de muertes a gran escala, en las guerras obviamente, y pues él no se sintió bien con lo que hizo y decidió crear los premios Nobel, para así tratar de enmendar el daño que ha hecho y tener un poco el perdón de la comunidad científica. Creo que esto también aplica con lo que dice Sachin. Me atrevería a decir de que Sachin es el Nobel, el equivalente de Nobel que hay aquí en este juego. Tomen nota los de World Impact, que sé que ustedes están bien atentos a esa clase de easter eggs.
I mentioned that I have performed a great many experiments concerning human nature. You may regard this as the very last experiment of them all.
La competitividad como un camino a la destrucción. Claro, porque siempre buscarás ser el mejor que nadie más. Y a veces los medios por el cuales llegas a ser el mejor no son los más éticos, que digamos. Breaking Bad creo que es el mejor ejemplo que puedo poner de eso.
The academia has no shortage of genius talents, nurturing the brightest minds of every generation. And so, with a handsome reward to draw out the worthiest of individuals, my hope was that one day I would find one who could untangle the mystery of human nature once and for all, and help to move the world onto a better path.
Pero Sachin, ¿te das cuenta de que al organizar este evento ya de por sí estás contradiciendo un poco tu punto de vista? Porque tú querías un mundo de paz, pero al momento de crear una competencia, tú ocasionas de que ya de por sí se estén peleando entre facciones por un bien, así sea de competitividad sana, así haya gente ayudándose y todo lo demás. De todas maneras, es una competencia.
I see. So you desired a successor who was not only a genius, but who also understood the suffering of ordinary people. Such a person would have a clearer understanding of humanity, society, and the world.
Y ese alguien es Cabe. Aunque él está más perdido que camote en sopa alemana. De hecho, ahora que me doy cuenta, Kazenwer estaría empatado con Reed Justice y Spandman en caso de que hubiera obtenido los puntos esos. No, espera, estoy haciendo mal los cálculos. Debían ser 4 si... Kazenwer ganaría. Vamos, Cabe, fírmala. Pero si no quieres, no me molestaré, Squira.
But did you ever consider that wealth numbs the human heart to the pain in the world? Even an idealist may be incapable of following through on your wishes after inheriting your wealth.
Tiene un buen punto, Al-Hatam.
You are highly intelligent, yet you are not the sort of person who would understand my line of thinking. To me, this is also part of the experiment, part of my investigation into human nature. Whether my successor suffers as a consequence of my research, or succumbs to an indulgence in pleasure-seeking, my research will have progressed. I grieve the fundamental sickness of the world. I regret the unbearable weight of its history. And I lament the research that I failed to complete.
¿Y lamentas haber dejado solo a tu familia?
And this, Kaveh, my dear child, is why you will be of great utility to me.
You're absolutely certain that you want to give me everything you owned? For me to do with as I please?
I have faith in what I see in you. Now wear the diadem, Kaveh, and complete the journey that I could not.
¿Lo hará o no?
Will the verdict I reached cause you suffering, or will this newfound wealth numb your heart? I look forward to your answer. All of my research materials are being stored at our...
I've heard enough! My life's enough of a mess already. The last thing I need is more suffering. Keep your Mora. I don't need it. Didn't you say that you saw a lot of people in pain? Well, if that's the case, then your wealth can go to them. I guess that'll be the end of that.
Al menos se van a dar los puntos a Kansewar, o por el simple hecho de que la corona no llegó a esto, para que Al-Hatam sería capaz de decir ya, como la corona no llegó al lugar, pues no recibe puntos, esta ronda no vale nada, empate para Spandman y Rituastis, ya veremos cómo carajo sabemos para que haya desempate en el primer lugar. Estoy seguro que Al-Hatam va a crearse esa pendejada ahorita. Pobre Cabe, ya sufrió bastante.
Are you all right? Any physical discomfort?
I'm fine.
Hiciste lo correcto. Ten en cuenta que te hiciste lo correcto. Así tu facultad te termine apaleando más adelante. Hiciste lo correcto.
Thanks, Tainari. Don't worry about me.
Don't push yourself too hard.
Kaveh.
Kaveh may have broken the diadem, but he successfully completed the task prior to that. According to the rules, this makes him the victor of round 3. Points-wise, this also makes him the winner of the Interdarshan Championship.
¡Ganamos! ¡Chupeta! 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 Ole, 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 Cabe, Cabe, ole, 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 Cabe, Cabe, un minuto de silencio. ¿Para quién? Para Jabata que está muerto. El que no salta se va a la vez. El que no salta se va a Jumatra. Upa, upa, tu papá. Amurte espalma que tu papá. Upa, upa, tu papá, spamma multa, aquí está tu papá. Pedí una pizza del tamaño de Rituasis y me dieron un guisante. Ok, ya me calmo. Bien. Facultad de Ciencia e Ingeniería y Arquitectura también. ¡Ganamos, concha tu madre! ¡Invito a la chela!
As the
Que yo no
champion
tomo
and
chela.
Sachin's personally designated successor, Kaveh has obtained the rights to inherit the entirety of his estate.
¿Qué mierda no entendiste de la promo que ha hecho en antes tu pana de habitación?
For the avoidance of doubt, can you confirm that it is your intention to donate all of Sachin's wealth?
Like I said, he thought that the world is a bad place. Well then, let's use what he left behind to change it for the better.
Tiene razón.
Rejecting the world will achieve nothing. He and I, we're not the same.
All right. As the scribe, I will make a record of this incident on file. The sages will contact you in person for details on how exactly Sachin's estate is to be used.
That sounds fine. I don't know if his research findings were right, nor would I know how to finish his research for him. But what I do know is that by ending this here, no contestants will have to suffer.
Sí, podemos hacer esto otra vez el año siguiente.
We won't be the last. There will be more championships to come, and countless future scholars will follow in our footsteps. Sachin's words can only cause pain, but not anymore. No one else has to hear them now. We're all scholars here. I know full well that shutting down his views like this is autocratic and arrogant. Fine by me. I'll bear that responsibility. It's the least I can do. And, well, it's the only thing I can do.
Well said. What you've expressed is a sense of justice and idealism that many aspire to, but few dare follow through with. I say this despite the fact that, in my view, it's quite ridiculous. You have long been aware of what your flaws are, but your pride alone prevents you from admitting it. Nevertheless, your perspective is well suited to appearing in a victory speech. Contestant Kaveh, on behalf of the organizing committee, it is my honor to congratulate you on your victory.
Cabe, 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 cabe. Na 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 na. Rosy, celebra con nosotros. Está aquí el perrito, lo tengo acá a mi costado. Pochita.
What? Please. I don't need your insincere praise. Anyway, this isn't the time or place for debates. Keep your commentary focused on the competition, not my views.
Ajá.
Congratulations, Kaveh. Also, you'll need to prepare for the award ceremony.
Y yo también, que necesito el OST del Mario Kart 64 ahorita. Regresa a la sede del evento para así darle fin a este evento que de verdad me ha encantado bastante. Ya no me interesa si es que termino odiando el evento que se viene en la 3.8 por el cast de personajes que van a ver, porque esto ya lo compensa. Esto ya lo compensa. Y demasiado. Ahora volviendo otra vez al tema de ser comentarista, modo comentarista, enciéndete.
Thank you all for your excellent performance. And that brings this year's Interdarshan Championship to a close. Finally, it gives me great pleasure to invite our champion, Kaveh, to the stage to receive his award. Typically at this point, we would crown our champion with the diadem as well as presenting them with their award. However, we have just received word that Kaveh has inherited Sachin's estate and made the decision to donate it all to charitable causes.
Sachin's estate is getting donated?
So much, Mora. And he gave it all up?
Kaveh's generosity will give many struggling families the chance to change their lives for the better. Of course, without the diadem and prize money to present, this makes the award ceremony a little more concise than expected. Would you like to say a few words, Kaveh? I'm sure many of our audience, like myself, are curious to learn why you decided to give all this wealth away.
I'm not entirely sure what I should say under these circumstances. I'm glad to have won, even though I'd say luck played a big part in that. As for why I want to give the Mora away, I don't support Sachin's views, and I don't want to take his Mora. With a lot of things in life, people need to experience them for themselves. It shouldn't be up to one person to make a judgment on. Anyway, this isn't really the time and place for such weighty and complicated topics. So, I guess that's all. I'll leave it there. Thanks very much.
Oh, Kaveh, just one moment. While this is a short and sweet award ceremony, we do still have a prize to present you with. Please take this limited edition Genius Invocation TCG card.
Pobrecino.
Additionally, your champion status will be logged in your record. This means that the sages will give priority consideration to any future project proposals you submit.
All right, I'll take the card. But as for project proposals, forget it.
In that case, I declare the award ceremony over. Let's give our champion Kaveh one last big round of applause.
Cabe, cabe, cabe.
I still don't really get it.
Rosy, cálmate.
Some of Mora would have been enough for me to live in luxury for my entire life.
Pobrecita. Es que ella está acostumbrada a alargar cuando nosotros aplaudimos, por eso.
That just means you're not strange enough to understand the way that geniuses think. Come on, we've still got the whole Wisdom Gala to explore.
Sí, todavía quedan las actividades, que eso ya lo haremos más adelante. Cabe, felicidades. Siempre tuve fe en ti.
I think I'm quite good at giving speeches, but this one was just so tiring.
Te dije, weón, te dije que tú ganarías, que yo le entiendo estas cosas, weón. Por algo te dije que tú eras mi caballo, weón.
Do you mean that you're still exhausted from the competition? Honestly, you don't look happy at all, but whatever else happened, you're the champion, you know? Don't you think you should be proud of that?
Sí, Paimon, pero es el ganador, pero ¿a qué costo?
I suppose. Oh, wait. Sino said he wanted the card, didn't he? And now I have it, right here.
So you're gonna give it to him? But if it's a rare one, you should be able to make a tidy sum of more off it.
Es una carta que no sirve en el competitivo, no creo que cueste tanto.
Why would I do that? It's of no use to me whatsoever. I may as well just give it to him. Could you pass it on to him for me when you next see him?
Ya, no hay problema.
Whoa, whoa! This is a super big deal! You should do it yourself! Come on, let's go find Sino.
Huh? But I was gonna rest for a while longer.
Véngase pa' acá,
Hey,
concha su
stop pulling my
madre.
hair.
Vayamos a donde está Sino. ¡Sino! Alguien quiere hablar contigo.
What you looking at, Sino?
I'm still thinking about the Sachin issue. What brings you here?
Well, they gave me this limited edition Genius Invocation card, and I figured you'd have more use for it than I.
But it's a limited edition. Are you sure you want to give it to me?
What else would I do with it? I have no use for it.
Puedes usarlo de pisapapeles.
But it's limited edition. Kaveh, are you in trouble? You don't have to do all this. Just tell me what's wrong and I will help.
Es que es como si no se lo toma tan en serio.
Oh, that's not what I meant at all. Yes, I have all sorts of problems, but that has absolutely nothing to do with this card.
All right. In that case, I accept your generosity.
Y Sino dentro suyo está en plan, ¡Let's go! Como ese meme que aparece a cada rato en Twitter.
But now that I realize that you have no concept of its value, I cannot simply take it from you. How about this? I shall buy it from you at a fair price. Namely, the price that the previous limited edition card sold for.
Oh, come on. It's just one card. How much could it really be worth?
Cabe, no tienes ni idea. Ahorita te vas a enterar.
1 million more at the very least.
How much?
1 millón de moras.
$1 million more?
1 millón de moras.
If you feel that's too low, I can go a little higher.
1 million mora for a card? But you already have a whole bunch of these, shiny ones, don't you? I saw...
Not every card is this valuable, and some cards are exquisitely designed, but not rare.
Huh. Well, I guess they must pay you plenty to be General Mahamatra.
Vale más que un
smashing out on
psicólogo.
things like this.
Gana más que un psicólogo, el Sino, por lo que veo.
But really, it's fine. I'd feel bad taking Mora from a friend.
Dios mío, estamos en una suerte de bucle en donde no van a... Esa carta va a terminar con nosotros, ¿verdad?
Don't feel bad. I save a lot. I can spare the Mora for this card.
You don't spend all your savings on your hobbies, do you? You should watch that, you know. You definitely don't want to end up borrowing money in a moment of impulsivity. Living with debt is miserable.
Esto lo han escrito la gente que se está ganando la vida mediante los weaklings de los demás. No tengo pruebas, pero tampoco duras.
Sounds like you're speaking from personal experience. I guess you've been through a lot?
I don't want to talk about it.
In that case, maybe you're the one who should be listening to your advice. In any case, I, Sino, will take this precious card, and it shall join the deck of destiny. Kave, come with me in a few moments to collect the Mora.
All right, if you insist. Far be it from me to refuse your courtesy any further. Well, at least I'll be able to keep on top of my bills this month. Maybe I'll even have some left over. In fact, let me treat you all to a meal later. Bring Tainari and Kale, too.
Well, this is what they call all's well that ends well.
Indeed.
Paimon wonders how the other contestants are doing. Let's go check in with them, shall we? Since we're guest commentators and all.
Muy bien, chequemos qué es lo que piensan los demás participantes luego de acabar el evento. ¿Dónde chucha está el resto? Tengo que ir en otros lugares. Ya se fueron a sus casas por lo que veo.
I'm telling you, you can't go wrong taking advice from me on what to wear. Back in the day, my fashion style was considered cutting edge by everyone in the academia.
¿Y eso aplica en el presente?
Really? Well then, sure, Madame Farzan. Maybe you could pick out a few fashionable outfits for us.
Farzan! Nilu! Even Dia and Candace are here! What are you all up to?
Candace and I bumped into these two while we were strolling through the streets. Madame Farzan here's pretty friendly. When she heard that we were buying clothes, she decided to give us some help.
I don't really see anything I'm familiar with. Never mind. We can purchase some textiles and make the clothes ourselves.
O mejor, buscar una tienda de estamparos y ahí mandar el estamparo que tú mismo has diseñado, como yo he hecho anteriormente.
Let's go with the plain fabric as our base. And embroider red and pink flowers on.
Es que, bro,
And some green leaves.
se siente de verdad bastante gratificante tener un diseño que tú mismo has pensado, allí estamparo en el polo que tú estás usando. De verdad, les recomiendo bastante buscar una tienda de esas que permitan hacer estamparos y allí es donde tú hagas tu diseño y te lo pongas. Así te sentirás el más master de los masters.
Oh, wait a sec. You sure that's the latest style? That sounds a lot like what the older folks back home would wear.
Ya me caes bien, pero no insultes el sentido de amor que tiene Honami.
Don't worry. This style is a timeless classic.
No thanks. This is actually sounding pretty weird.
Wait. Madame Farzan's right. That style is a classic and used to be mainstream fashion. But these days, there are some other options too.
Es lo que he estado tratando de decir, Nilo.
If you don't mind, how about I pick some clothes out for everyone? It's not often that we get to meet up, especially since Candace rarely makes it to Sumeru City. Also, I know a few places where I can get a great bargain.
Sure. I'm happy to leave it to you.
I'll come with you to have a look. One always has to keep on top of what the youth of today are into.
Madame Farazan? Come quick! She's over here!
Who are you?
We're new in the academia. We saw all the amazing things you did during the competition. Do you have any classes we could sign up for?
Of course I do. And you're both very welcome to join.
Bueno, al menos consiguió 2 puntos para su facultad, así que obviamente va a tener, aunque sea un que otro fanático.
Great! We can't wait. What's your area of research? Precision mechanics?
I'm from Haravatat.
Huh? But you seem like an expert in machines. Wait, sorry. I remember now. You were representing the Haravatat Darshan in the championship.
Sí, la escuela de ingenieros estaba representada por KB. ¿Quién los derrotó a ellos?
Oh, their classes are so boring, though.
Confirmo.
Sorry, ma'am. Let me know if you run any other classes in the future.
No se hagan gente de letras. Ustedes también saben de que esas clases son recontra ZZZ.
I knew it. What about you? Aren't you going to leave with your friend?
I think you're amazing, Madame Farazan, and I'd like to learn from you for a while, if possible. I can take the class you're teaching as an option, even though cross-Darshan lessons might be a little tough to arrange.
Puedes
But
ir
I
de
look
colara.
forward to learning from you.
La universidad no te dice nada si es que vas de colaro, excepto algunos profesores. De hecho, antes he pensado en colarme una clase de sociales, pero luego vi que el profesor estaba hablando de cosas de izquierda y me asusté.
I see. You're a good egg, child. Don't worry. Study under me, and I promise you, you will get the best teaching available.
Irónicamente, pasé por el mismo salón una hora después y había cambiado el horario y ahora el profesor de ese entonces estaba hablando de derecha y que terminé más traumado.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Well, I won't disturb you any further. See you in class.
Gente de sociales, por favor, pónganse la letal a la facultad entera. What the hell?
I don't quite understand what happened there, but congratulations,
I
think.
guess.
Traveler, Paimon, would you two like to come and pick out some clothes?
Todavía nos falta ver qué es lo que sucedió con los representantes de Ritwagist y Bahumatra y Amurta. Así que sea para otra ocasión.
Sorry, we can't. We've got a meal with Kaveh later, and we have to check in with all the other contestants before then.
Lo que dijo Paimon.
Oh, by the way, have any of you seen Hat Guy or Layla?
I don't know where Hat Guy went. We just saw Layla not too long ago, though. But she was hanging out with some other Watahoa students, so we didn't get a chance to speak with her. Are you gonna go and see what she's up to?
Por supuesto, es una de las finalistas, quedó en segundo lugar empatada con Spantmat.
Watahoa students? They must be the ones who voted for her to enter the competition, right? Oh, she didn't end up winning, so Paimon wonders how they feel about that.
No creo que las estén haciendo bullying por el simple hecho de ya saben ganar. A ver, ¿qué es lo que piensan los demás aquí? Empecemos con Deya.
I think I might need some more practice if I wanted to embroider my own complex designs. Although, I'm no beginner with a needle and thread. More like upper end of intermediate?
Ya lo dije antes, a mí también me gustaría coser, aprender a manipular la aguja y demás.
These clothes all seem a bit too flimsy. Is there anything sturdier?
Hagan lo que hagan cuando vayan a comprar ropa, busquen algodón. Poliéster no sirve para mucho. A ver qué dice Nilo.
Dia and Candace are both pretty tall. That means they have a lot of options when it comes to clothes.
They are tall indeed. A ver, último Farusan.
The classics are the best.
Estilo clásicos en algunos casos. A ver, ahora sí hablemos donde esté Layla, que me confundo con los nombres ahorita. A ver, estamos en las afueras de la academia y por aquí debería estar Layla con sus compadres celebrando por haber quedado segundo lugar, puesto de plata. Caso contrario, le partimos la madre.
Sorry, everyone. I could have done better in the third round.
Oh, stop it. If you're going to beat yourself up after doing as well as you did, how bad does that make us look, huh? Heck, it's not like any of us had the guts to enter the championship.
I didn't see the whole thing, but you were the only contestant who scored points in both the first two rounds, right?
Ese es un gran acolaro.
And I heard that you actually found the diadem first in round 3. You came so close to winning the competition.
Aw, I just got lucky, I think.
That can't be true. You had some really stiff competition out there. The renowned Tainari from Amorta, even Sino the General Mahamatra was there.
Detrostaste a Tignari. Tienes que estar orgullosa de eso.
Getting points off
También
them
así,
is
¿no?
a huge
Por
achievement.
partida doble.
The way I see it, people aren't exaggerating one bit with the nicknames they give you. You are a genuine genius.
Aw, thanks a lot. But I really don't think I qualify as a genius. In the second round, for instance, I dozed off and somehow found myself beside the device when I came to.
Ah, come on, don't be so hard on yourself. We've decided we're taking you out to celebrate and that's final.
Es lo mínimo que pueden hacer. Como dije antes, les han dado una alegría después de un montón de tiempo, algo de fe aunque sea. Que esta facultad siempre es la que termina perdiendo. 0 puntos. Ahora la de Bahumatra, es lo que está en la B.
Looks like things are going well for Layla. This is great.
Yeah.
We haven't seen Hat Guy since the end of the competition. Oh well, it's almost mealtime. We'd better go meet up with Kaveh and Sino now.
Sí, hay que ir a ver a los panas que perdieron en contra de Layla. Pero primero, veamos qué es lo que piensa.
What a relief.
Sí, menos mal que no te están haciendo bullying como lo harían otras facultades. Sí, me estoy refiriendo a ustedes, gente de comunica y gestión. Y los de Eruca también. Esos son más bravos. Porque siempre pierden esos hueones. Que lograron el podio, según tengo enterado, 1987. Desde entonces no ganan esos cojuros de miércoles. A ver, entremos a la taberna y acabemos con toda esta aventura. De seguro sería gracioso que Don Sombrero Escara Sacra esté justamente aquí dentro, comiendo su pollito a la brasa, como el buen estudiante de sociales que es. No es que haya una relación entre comer pollo a la brasa y sociales, simplemente es que, como son vagos... no, mentira, no son vagos, no son vagos. Simplemente tengo una línea de pensamiento diferente a la mía. Así de simple.
Are you sure you have enough to cover this? Don't blow it all at once.
Don't worry. I budgeted very carefully, and this is well within my means. Anyway, I've lost count of how many times you've treated me. It's high time I return the favor. Oh, Traveler, Paimon, over here.
Veo que te has comprado un baguette entero.
Look at all this. Good food, here we come.
I heard that you went to see the other contestants. How's everyone doing?
Faruzan found herself a student, and Layla's classmates are bowled over by how well she did. We couldn't find Hat Guy, though. Who knows where he's gone?
Alhaitham's gone missing in action, too. Huh. The one time I'm actually in a good enough mood to treat him to a nice meal, he disappears without a trace. That guy. Where the heck could he have gone? I still have questions about that note he left.
No es de mucha molestia, pero ¿me podrías pasar esa nota?
Well, whatever. He can do what he wants. Now,
Salud.
let's eat.
Por la Facultad de Ciencias e Ingeniería.
You shocked me a little when you hurled the diadem to the ground. On further reflection, of course, it made sense, but at the time I was expecting at least some amount of deliberation.
Sachin's voice started talking to me inside my head from the moment I picked it up. I could feel his emotions, too. It was a mix of despair and horror swirling around inside my mind. He bombarded me with his ideas relentlessly, like he was trying to brainwash me. It gave me a splitting headache that only got worse as he went on. Like I was saying at the time, his views are not necessarily completely without value. But if all his research does is lead to misfortune, then we're probably better off without it.
Podría discrepar, pero no soy estudiante de sociales, así que eso se lo dejo a ustedes. Ven, allí para eso sí son útiles. No, mentira, no. Debería dejar de hacerle bullying a la gente de sociales. No han hecho nada de malo en esta vida, aparte de existir. Que es un crimen que yo también cometo.
And cause people to suffer, the mantra would step in and ban it.
I think you did the right thing. I suppose another way to approach it would have been to claim that you agreed to inherit his research, but give up the research as soon as you've inherited the wealth. But that wouldn't have been your style. I won't comment on his theories or experiments, but I don't believe that he was careless in his choice of candidate. He chose you. That means he knew what he was doing.
Perhaps. I just think that if you accept someone else's things, you should honor their wishes.
That's a good thing. It means that you have integrity.
Thank you, oh my god, thank you. See, you get me, Kale.
Finally.
It's a good
Alguien
thing
que habla mi
Alhaitham isn't
idioma.
here right now. He'd be quick to explain why you're wrong.
Seems like you always include him in the conversation, even when he isn't here.
He's living rent-free on your head.
Yep. No dinner with Kaveh is complete without a few words about Alhaitham.
I sense that Alhaitham has in fact been here with us all along.
He's here? Where? Why didn't you tell me?
He lives rent-free in each of our hearts.
That was horrifying. It literally sent chills down my spine.
Good thing you didn't say that before we started eating. That would have killed the mood in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
All right, enough about Alhaitham. Tainari, did you achieve what you wanted out of the championship?
I did, in the first round, in fact. Word of mouth proved very effective. I spoke to a handful of people, they told their friends, and so on. Now, a record number of people have signed up to attend the next lecture. Oh, are you free next month? You should come along. Maybe even say a few words.
About what? I don't know the first thing about anything Amorta related.
Just play to your strengths. For instance, you could talk about the distinguishing features of rainforest architecture. Or ask everyone not to chop down too many trees the next time they're building a house.
Oh, well, that's no problem. Sure, I'll make time. Has everyone had enough to eat? I can order more if anyone's still hungry.
No, gracias. Estoy un poquito a dieta.
I'm full. Thanks. I'm super full, too. If only we could eat like this every day.
Más bien, no queremos darte problemas con el tema del presupuesto.
Yeah, we should do this more often. Work will always be there, but seeing friends is important too. This is a good restaurant. Let's definitely come here again.
Sí, aunque yo también hago lo mismo con mis amigos en la vida real, así que no lo veo tan necesario hacerlo aquí.
Sounds good. We should pick a few other places as backup options, though.
Eso aplica más a los lugares de estudio porque CIA siempre está lleno. El complejo de innovación académica siempre está lleno. No sé cómo chucha, pero tendré que estar allí próximamente porque hay una colección de arquitectura en el segundo piso.
There are other good places around here too? Oh, don't forget to invite us if you go. There's nothing we love more than good food.
Kaveh, do you have plans after this?
I was thinking of maybe going to the academia for some alone time. Nothing set in stone, though. Why do you ask?
A ver, ¿qué es lo que dice cada uno de ellos? Empecemos por Tignari.
I wonder when Kaveh will be able to pay off his debts. I wish him the best of luck.
Ojalá pueda hacerla. A ver qué piensa Coley.
It's been so nice not having to study these last few days. I hope I don't fall behind. Wait. Uh-oh. I've completely forgotten where I was up to.
El drama de cuando hay tiempo de vacaciones, eso aplica conmigo también. A ver, Zaino, ¿tú vas a decir algo?
With this limited edition card in my deck, I have reached peak connection with my cards. This is my most worthwhile purchase in quite some time.
Sí, buena suerte ganando competencias con ese mazo, que tienes la conexión, pero ese mazo que tienes te servirá de algo. A eso me refiero con el tema de la conexión main y, ya saben, jugador.
This was some pretty successful ordering today. Not a dish wasted. Oh, I almost forgot. I should order a couple of extra things to take back home.
Bien, Kaveh aprendiendo a gastar su plata de manera inteligente. Ahora sí que sí, salgamos de la taberna, que no tenemos nada más que hacer aquí. De seguro nos encontraremos con Hatgaya allá afuera, conociendo cómo es que funcionan las mecánicas en este juego. Dime por favor que estoy en lo cierto. Que no me he revisado Twitter para nada.
Well, it looks like this Interdarshon Championship's a wrap. All that stuff with Sachin and the diadem got sorted too. Have you still got anything else on your mind?
Un poco el tema de la investigación de Sachin.
Oh, right. Yeah, Sachin said that he placed his research materials at somewhere beginning with but Kaveh smashed the diadem of knowledge before he could finish. It might be dangerous if someone finds his old research stash, right? Where do you think it could
Aldea Dau.
Holy smokes, you're right! He said he spent all the time researching in the desert, didn't he? So it's very possible that that's where he'd leave all his notes. Alright then, let's head off to our village and try our luck!
Muy bien, veamos si es que en la aldea Dau está justamente los papeles que podrían demostrar la investigación de Sachin, que ha estado hablando tanto del tema del conflicto, de las guerras y del tema de que el ser humano es competitivo por su naturaleza y la competitividad causa de que se corrompa. ¿Es eso lo que dijo, verdad? Dime por favor qué es lo que dijo o estoy malinterpretando algo. ¿Algeita, me estás acá?
Didn't expect to run into you here.
Igualmente.
Oh, hey, Thumb. What are you doing here? And what are you reading? Are those?
Sachin's notes? Yes. I came across his profile while I was organizing some documents and became interested in his research. If it wasn't for that, I never would have agreed to being a commentator. I had a hunch after seeing the fragment of his mind, and sure enough, I came here and found his research.
Wait! So, you've read it already? Are you alright? How do you feel?
Él no siente nada.
I think you may have misunderstood something. The reason Sachin chose that architect to inherit his research was that only he could really empathize with both the calamity and the humanity that these notes seek to convey.
Catetes a la derecha, by the way.
Only one who resonates with these sentiments would suffer and begin to think of history as bleak, the present as perplexing, and the future as pessimistic. Empathy is a double-edged sword. Clearly, I am not the same sort of person as Sachin was.
Sí, tú eres recontra friazo.
Empaths have
La
many
gente te ama
friends,
por eso.
and their wide social circle comes with certain societal advantages. But this also makes it hard for them to achieve their goals.
Why's that?
All important things in life involve other people. As such, it's extremely difficult to live a life that causes no harm whatsoever to others. If you really want to achieve your goals, you have to be prepared to make enemies along the way. Not everyone can deal with that reality. And that reality is like the material here. Objective, heavy, negative. But, at the end of the day, for all these experiment results and conclusions, it's just one person's perspective.
So, what are your thoughts now that you've read it?
As a scholar, Sachin was without a doubt a genius. He laid the blame for the darkness in the world squarely on humanity, experimented extensively with reliable results, and drew logical conclusions. In that sense, one might say his views were correct.
So, people are bad? And things can only ever get worse?
That is not a question for me to answer. Someone else will arrive shortly. You can ask them instead. All I will say is that the world is not built on correctness alone. Sometimes, being correct means nothing at all.
¿Qué eran esas notas que dejaste con los documentos?
Lofty ideals may provide no defense at all against nihilism, but perhaps little decisions can. By their own choice, the idealist seeks to bring happiness to all while denying themselves the same. Thus, they shall never reach even the borders of truth until they wipe away the ignorance that blinds them. I've never been able to agree with certain philosophies.
Por dos.
Even Sachin himself struggled to comprehend the notion of sacrificing oneself for the greater good.
Lo que hizo Cabe.
But sadly, all viewpoints will find their supporters, and the way we see the world largely decides our fates.
Si no, pregúntenle a la gente que sigue creyendo que Castillo es inocente. Existen todavía.
All right then. I got what I came for. These research materials are yours to look after. I'll be off.
Wait, so you came here just to read this stuff? You missed out on a big get-together, you know.
Get-together? Ah, yes, that makes sense. This is a good opportunity for that sort of thing.
Guess what? Kaveh treated everyone this time.
Then I'm sure he packed up the leftovers for me. See ya.
Nos vemos, Alhadam. A mí también tuve que hacer esas cosas, de faltar algún que otro querara que tenía con mis amigos por el tema de estudiar. Sencillo, pero hay que hacerlo. Eso no puede pasar más tiempo con ellos en el futuro.
Wasn't affected by this research. He said that someone else would answer our questions. What do you think that'll be?
¿Sakura? Es lo único que se me ocurre. Esperan un rato junto a los documentos. Ah, Nahira, ahí estás. Sí, ahí estás con Sakura. Qué bien.
Traveler, Paimon, you're already here.
Ya me estaba preguntando si aparece días por estos lares.
Oh, and that guy. Wait, so you asked him to take part in the championship?
Yes, it was me. Are you surprised?
Para nada, ya lo sabíamos.
I know that there was something wrong with the diadem from the start. And if so, why didn't you switch it out for another one?
Because Sachin's research is not mistaken. He spent his entire life researching this topic, and these materials are a result of that.
Hay que respetar las intenciones que tenía el investigador después de todo.
These are the crystallization of his wisdom.
Ajá.
Yes, I was worried that the material might cause some disruption, but I didn't want to wipe away all his hard work searching for the truth.
Al fin y al cabo, para eso la gente investiga, para encontrar una respuesta, sea esta buena o mala.
So instead, I had Hat Guy here help me keep an eye on things.
Y por eso tu facultad está con 0 puntos.
Seriously? I think you can stop calling me that now.
Why? Don't you like it? Well, anyway, if Sachin's chosen successor hadn't been able to handle his research, or if it had brought pain to more people, he would have intervened at a suitable moment.
And after all that, the person Sachin chose turned his nose up at his life's work. Pretty hilarious.
Por las huevas tú se clasificó toda tu facultad entera.
I was also hoping that this could be an opportunity for you to learn how to interact with people normally. But it looks like that didn't work out.
Se tomó el trabajo de guardia muy a pecho.
That wasn't necessary. I'm still paying you back for your help. And the last thing I need is more reasons to be indebted to you.
Maida, what did you mean by Sachin's research is not mistaken? Does that mean that you approve of his research?
Put it this way instead. Truth to me is like a shroom boar.
¿Qué mierda es un micóquero? Ah, un chanchito. De esos de planta. Yo creía que era otra palabra.
Some people only see the mushroom on the shroom boar's back, and they conclude that the shroom boar is a mushroom.
Lo mismo aplicaría con Parasect.
Others see only the shroom boar's body, and they declare that the shroom boar is a boar. Still others look deeper inside, and determine that the shroom boar is meat. These conclusions are all correct in their own way, but none of them objectively describe the shroom boar.
Es como lo que se ve en el libro del Principito, ya saben, lo de la serpiente que se había comido a alguien, o un sombrero.
Paimon kinda gets it, but also not really.
Yo lo entiendo perfectamente, yo sí me leí el Principito, lo que no me vi fue la serie de Discovery Kids.
The world is the same way. No one, not even I included, can understand it in its entirety. All of us are somewhere on the path toward truth. Within the confines of our limited knowledge, some may blindly believe in the beauty of this world, and others may focus only on its evils. In truth, the most important thing isn't what state the world is in now, but what people hope it will become. But of course, I don't mean that as a criticism or a call to action. Ultimately, my duty as the God of Wisdom is to guide every form of wisdom to a place where it can find its purpose.
That was a long speech. So what are you actually going to do with these research materials?
Almacenarlo en tu biblioteca personal, I guess.
Because Kaveh, as the successor of this research, does not wish to see these ideas disseminated, I will seal it up. But even though Sachin's research could be considered negative wisdom, it is still a building block of the truth. If someone wishes to follow in his footsteps in the future, I will not stop them.
Me parece correcto, aunque eso puede sonar polémico para cualquier otra línea de pensamiento.
I also look forward to the day that a member of the Vahumana Darshan can not only comprehend his theories, but also find a way out from the despair as well.
Vahumana doesn't have that kind of talent. Wait, you're not intending to keep me in Vahumana long term, are you?
Pobrecito Sakura, está forzado a convertirse en un politólogo.
I don't remember signing up to become a scholar. Don't you think I'm useful enough to you as a prisoner?
Oh boy, here we go again.
You think so? Well, to that, I would say that in Sumeru, even prisoners have a right to an education.
Najira siendo mejor que el gobierno de mi país. Najira siendo mejor que el gobierno de mi país, habrás visto.
I hope that your studies in Vahumana will help you deal with your own fate and learn how best to settle old debts from your past. I will review your final thesis myself. I'm expecting great things from you, Mr. Hat Guy.
Y aquí termina la gran ceremonia de erudición la verdad, un muy buen evento, me agrada bastante, me agradó bastante cómo es que han terminado haciendo todo esto. Y la verdad es que me he divertido bastante. Creo que no he sentido este nivel de diversión por una misión de este juego desde la misión esa de la isla Manzanas Doradas de año pasado. Cosa que un poco de miedo me da el tema de cómo va a ser este año con el cast de personajes que hay. Pero esto lo compensa bastante y creo que ha sido algo positivo de mi parte el haber decidido ir full bollocks con el tema este de el tema, como dice, el tema de comentario, que tal vez haya dado asco, tal vez no, veré cómo lo hago en el tema de edición, pero me he divertido bastante, es la manera en cómo yo hago las cosas. Y bueno, nada más que decir. Espero que os haya gustado el video. Si es así, pueden darle like, compartirlo con amigos que sean fanáticos de Genshin Impact. Y bueno, esto ha sido el gran certamen académico. Les ha hablado su comentarista de confianza, eVampire. Pueden seguirme en Twitter como eVampire2. Y les deseo buenos días, buenas tardes y buenas noches. Nos vemos en el siguiente video.